Ooh, ooh, do I get to... Oh, I get to go! Yay! Bye, Felicia. I drive into that sun way too much. No foot down, no foot down, no foot down. You know what, let's take the scenic route. So I'm officially married. Despite all of the warnings from all of my coworkers and I wouldn't say friends. Most of my friends were excited about it and stoked, but my coworkers are just assholes. The whole like month leading up to the wedding, everybody was just like, "So, are you sure you're gonna do this, sticker? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to get married? It's horrible. It's the worst thing ever." Apparently, Miss Sticker was going through the same thing at her work. Everybody was telling her how awful marriage is. I don't know why people say that. If you find the right person, the relationship is not going to be horrible. Like, you got to find the right person. Anyways, so now I'm married. We now have a place together, so that means that I have moved. I'm no longer where I was in Statham, so now I'm over in Athens, which is an even bigger town. If you guys aren't familiar with Georgia, Athens is essentially a smaller version of Atlanta. Very, very, very much smaller, but it still has that same kind of, I don't know, feel to it. It's got a shitload of traffic just because a lot of people commute. Oh, yay. I was about to say, I've never seen these down before. So anyways, I have moved. The P.O. box is going to stay for now until we get everything situated, and then I'll transfer it over. So that'll all be down in the description of those videos whenever that's set up. I'm going to keep the same one for now, just in case. So right now, I'm heading to the P.O. box the long scenic way. I thought there weren't going to be any cars back here, but there are. There's a bunch of corners back here that are pretty fun, but actually there's 2 corners back here that are really fun, but I'm not going to be able to get them. So I'm heading to the P.O. box to pick up a package, and I've got a 2007 Honda Accord that was my daily driver before I picked up the bikes. Since May of last year, it's pretty much just sat in my driveway the whole time. I think I drove it 3 times or 4 times since May, before I moved it to the new location, the new house. And the whole reason why is just because I enjoy commuting on my bike so much more than the car. Granted, it does get cold and it does get wet sometimes, but it's still like exponentially more fun to ride the bike. But the box that I'm picking up from the post office is the center console, like flip door box thing for like CDs and stuff for the Honda, because I had to take mine out to put in my stereo system, and I wasn't really ever planning on selling the car at that point, so I didn't feel like keeping it. Which now in hindsight I probably should have. But anyways, so I've got my tank bag with me. I don't have a backpack, and I'm really hoping that it's not that big. I know it's not, like the actual item isn't that big, but I'm hoping the box won't be that big. But we shall see. I'm gonna try and jam a box into my bag, and if I can't, I'll just have to open it at the P.O. box and stuff the item in here. Is this my turn? I think this is my turn. That's not my turn. I don't come back here very often. Do you come around these parts often? Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah. So, why am I selling my Honda Accord, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. So, I had a checklist, a little goals list while I was in college that I created. It was kind of like long-term goals. And I think I made it my senior year or junior year. But it was essentially, it was 5 goals. And the goals were graduate, get a job, propose, settle, and then get an R1. And that was the particular order. That was the checklist order. Well, I graduated and I got to check the first one off. And then last year in September, on mine and Miss Sticker's 4-year anniversary, I proposed and I got to check that one off. Well, now we're starting to get to the point where we're getting settled in the new house, and I'm getting closer and closer and closer to getting the Honda ready for sale, to put up for sale. Words and things. I'm getting closer to getting the Honda ready to put up for sale, so that I can then take that money and turn around and buy an R1 outright. You know, and brand new R1 is what, $15,000. Well, I'm not gonna get a brand new one because that's retarded. I really love the crossplane engine, and Yamaha's new direction with the new bodywork, I think it looks horrible. So I'm gonna end up picking up the 09 to 14 body style, and I've already priced some out. I'm willing to travel, albeit not too far, but if I can find, you know, equivalent vehicles and one is a little bit further and a little bit less, I will travel to get the further one. But keep your fingers crossed, guys. I'm really excited about this. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. You know, the R1 was an awesome platform just to listen to, and then I got the chance to ride one 2 years ago, right before I bought Tessa, and now I'm like within like reaching distance of grabbing one, because it's not going to be hard for me to sell the Honda, not at all. They're, like I was saying, the Hondas, they hold a resale value. It's, you know, it's the like creme de la creme version. If anyone's looking for one, you guys have my email down below, and I can definitely give you the info for it for Craigslist whenever I do sell it. But yeah, R1. On another motorcycle related note, I have officially gotten my quote from Monster Fairings to get a kit, to get a fairing kit for Ruth. And I did some research and started looking at parts, because what I want to do is I want to create the vlog that I had recently, which was the ZX5R. I want to create the ZX5R, and in doing so, I will be using ZX6R bodywork. That being said, when you're doing a full fairing kit, you obviously need the structure to bolt the fairings to, and the biggest piece that I needed was the rear subframe. I can make all the side brackets and stuff for the actual frame itself. I mean, I work in a custom motorcycle shop, so that's not going to be hard. And technically, I could have created my own subframe and bolted everything up to it, but I kind of felt like structurally it would make a lot more sense for us to create the mounting brackets on Ruth for a regular, an actual ZX6R subframe. That way, if Miss Sticker ever wants to ride 2-up with me or something like that, I would still have that ability, and I wouldn't have to worry about the welds or anything like that. So I got on eBay and started looking up ZX6R subframes, and I found one for $67. I could not believe it. Like, I felt like a subframe would be one of the most fucked up parts aside from fairings and headlights for bikes. I felt like that would be like the next part to check if the forks weren't broken or something. Like, is the subframe correct? Yep, okay, total it. Well, found one that's straight, nothing's wrong with it. It was, you know, it's a used subframe, but it's got everything I need, and it came from, I think it was coming from California. But $67, holy shit, I couldn't believe it. I was totally willing to pay like $130, $140, and didn't have to. So now I will have the proper tail section for the fairing kit whenever that gets ordered. More than likely what I'm planning on doing is doing the R1 and getting the fairing kit at the same time, because I'll just use the same income from the Honda. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy because it'll essentially be like I have two brand new bikes, even though I'll only have one brand new bike to me, and then I'll have a refreshed, you know, Ruth will be pretty and awesome. And then later on down the road, once we get some more spending money saved up, I'll do the front end conversion kit for Ruth to switch over to two inverted forks. That'll be really cool. I think that total cost is probably gonna get me like another $400 or $500, maybe $600, depending on how I find my parts. Because I've already got my forks, I just need the upper and lower triples, the clip-ons, and then the actual wheel and brakes. But new things, new motorcycle things. I'm so excited. Like, you guys have no idea. When I rode the R1 2 years ago, it was awesome. Like, it was a completely different feel to a sport bike. Like, it wasn't, you know, it didn't sound like an F1 car. It sounded like a muscle car. And I just love that low-end grumble. Like, that's the only, if I keep saying it over and over and over, if they would cross-plane the R6, I would buy the R6. I don't need 1,000 cc's. No one ever does on the street. Like, that's not a thing. I don't even need 600 cc's. But still, like, oh, that cross-plane sound is incredible. You can't beat it. I think it sounds better than like Italian V-twins. It just sounds smoother. I'm ready for the R1. That's not something that you need to be doing. You made the mistake, now you have to pay for it. There you go. That's how you do it. Don't turn around in traffic. Little princess key. No. You're joking me. Why do you do this? I hate my life.